Now we're about to go to the presser there with Pittsburgh Public Safety for an update on the collapse of the Fern Hollow Bridge.
Questions about the investigation, just some questions about the park and the closures, and of course this is going to be an observation viewing area for the public, so we're just going to talk about the parameters of that. So Acting Director Schmidt.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone. Just want to thank the public for heeding our ask to stay out of the park during this closure. I know it was not easy. We had the entire park closed. It wasn't an easy decision to just blanket close the entire park, but we felt that was the best choice until we made a good evaluation and assessment of the entire area. With that, we are going to announce now that the park is reopened except for an exclusionary zone that we have due to the construction in the fall site. So it's approximately 100 yards around the site will remain closed. It's designated by the orange construction fencing around that site. Tranquil Trail, which runs through the bottom where the bridge is lying, will remain closed around that same perimeter, so it'll dead end at the bridge site and at the fence. Undercliff Trail will also still remain closed. The following trails are reopened: Clayton Loop, Biddle Trail, and Homewood Trail. We ask anyone who is trying to visit the site to please remain on the trails. Be cautious, obviously, with the weather and the snow. The trails have had a lot of traffic on them. They're very packed down and very slippery. The big thing we want to announce today is the creation of this new observation area. For right now, we understand the public wants to come see this site. Many people have been traversing the hills, putting themselves in danger, and we've asked them not to, but we're hoping this is a safe outlet for people to come and view the site. It will be open from dawn to dusk every day. You'll be able to access the entrance up above on top of the hill from here through Beechwood Boulevard. There's a small cut through. It's going to be a one-way loop in and then out Forbes onto South Dallas. Parking is along the street there. We will have an officer posted at the top to make sure vehicles do not come down here while pedestrians are walking up and down the roadway. Again, that's open dawn to dusk and beyond that. The other side of the bridge, South Braddock side, remains closed. That is still will be for an indefinite amount of time an active construction zone, which could potentially and probably will happen here eventually, so we will have to close the viewing area at that time as well. We ask the public, we understand this is a major inconvenience around the park, through the trail, etc. We ask everyone to be flexible and understanding. We will have to open and close this as appropriate for construction and for assessment of the site. I don't have anything else, I don't think.
Any questions about the observation area?
Yeah, how about Forbes Avenue? How much of Forbes Avenue will drivers be able to access the park before they start walking down?
There's maybe 50 yards or so at the top. So where they are, at the top of the hill, we have barricades up there, and there's about 50 yards. We estimate we can probably fit 50 cars or so up through there if they park diagonally.
Where the officer is, where we came through.
From there up to South Dallas.
The general public will be able to come to that area with their vehicles?
Not where the officer is. They'll have to stay up above that barrier.
Okay.
Entrance through, yeah, they will have to walk down here. Unfortunately, that's the only way we could do. But the trail to this side will also be open, so they can use the conservation center up on the hill to park and walk down through the trails.
Is there no trail coming down Tranquil to come up and over and down, or no? Like if you're coming from Reynolds, you can't get to.
I'm not 100%. I'm not real familiar with all the trails through here. We could check with our park rangers; they'd be able to tell us that. But
will a police officer or some sort of public safety person be down here?
yes, we will always have one or two officers as well as security through stage here 24/7. Again, throughout the site, we will have physical security in place beyond just the orange barriers. Anyone found inside of those zones, inside the orange construction fence, will be cited. We ask everyone to stay out of that. That can be very unstable, especially as the weather changes and the ground becomes muddy. We don't know, how secure everything is yet. So.
Can you reiterate the need for this observation deck for the public safety? Can you go ahead and reiterate that?
Sure.
What
So,
you've been finding out over the last 2 days to necessitate this kind of...
yeah. So, over the past 2 days, I've been quite involved myself. It's been very challenging keeping people away from this site. We understand everyone's desire to come, take a look. Having the entire park closed, we knew was going to be challenging. Obviously, with the park and multiple trails, there's multiple ways for people to access things. But we did have many people coming into the site, into climbing up, trying to traverse very steep inclines and hills and mud and snow. We did not want anyone to get injured, and then public safety would have to come in and take them out again. So we asked everyone to stay out. The thought is with this is a safe area. Our public works department has salted it heavily and will be maintaining it for ice and snow. It's a safety area for them to come. They can have a very good view of the site, take photos, etc. And we will have safety officers here. Right now.
Did anyone get injured Friday and onward trying to be nebby?
No, not that we're aware of. If they did, they didn't report it to us. But luckily, we did not have to bring anybody up there. But it definitely was. I know I had to traverse the hills myself, and it was not easy.
When you say cited, what would they be cited with if someone does?
Criminal trespassing. So this is, because of it being a zone, we will be putting signage up as well. It's just because of it being a safety and construction zone.
Can you repeat the 3 trails that are open? I missed the first one.
Sure, it's Clayton Loop, Biddle Trail, and Homewood Trail.
And just so I understand, and maybe I misunderstood, did you say there was like 100-foot or meter perimeter around?
Approximately 100-foot, 100-yard perimeter, designated by the fencing. So the fencing kind of had to follow the terrain. So don't take a tape measure and mark it or anything. But yeah, it's approximately 100 yards around the site, other than this spot, for people to access.
On sort of the larger picture, are you guys setting up detours? Like, what's the official detour, and what are you seeing traffic-wise?
DOMI will be releasing detours as they progress, and I think they are looking at traffic options and seeing how things go the first couple of days. Working with PennDOT on those as well.
Do you happen to have any information on, I guess, how the 26-ton limit was maintained and kept?
No, that's a DOMI question.
You said the one trail was still closed. I'm guessing that's marked that you should know if you're
Yeah, so
violation.
the trails that are closed still have signage on them and fencing across them. Tranquil Trail's the main one that's closed because there's a bridge in the middle of it. So we do have the orange fence. You can get up to the orange fence, but then you'll have to turn around. So it's no longer a throughway trail.
For the dog park?
Yeah, I've been told by DPW that was never officially a dog park. So I'm not sure.
That's a whole
but-
other news.
Yeah, that's another conference for DPW. But the dog park is, that entire valley basically. You can see the orange fencing. That section has to be off limits.
And I don't know if this is another question for that department, but do you have any information on when the POAs will be released for this?
No, that's all. NTSB and DOMI questions.
Any other questions?
Do you have any other press conferences happening today?
I don't.
Not that you're.
Is there any budget for this, or is this just part of? It's just something we don't have to worry about. How much money is going to go
To rebuild the bridge or
no,
the
to rebuild the bridge.
the security and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's within our standard police and public safety budgets to allow for events. We're doing what we can to control the costs. Luckily, as you all know, the governor did declare a state of emergency, and our mayor did as well, so that opens up some funding sources potentially for us as well.
Do you
So.
have any information on when the bus and the cars will be lifted, and if that will be? I mean, I would expect that would bring a large crowd here. If this will still be open, then
We're
or, and just
expecting.
the
We
timeline?
don't have a timeline on when those will be removed. You can see our public safety hazmat team is currently working to offload the fuel from the bus. Until that happens, we can't move any of those vehicles, so we have to assess those for safety. We don't want to environmental impact any more than what's already happened. So we're getting all the fuel off the bus. I believe it's around 125 gallons. Chief Jones is overseeing that operation with the hazmat team.
Looking at some of these homes on that hillside there, any of them at risk of any, I don't know, landslide or anything because of all this?
No, that's part of the reason we had the whole park closed, just to make sure there wasn't any instability beyond just the bridge site, and there's nothing to indicate there is at this time. So.
I think we heard on Friday that it could possibly take like 2 years to rebuild this. Is there any sort of timeline on that, update or anything?
No, I don't have that.
Before you step off, can you spell your first and last name, please?
Sure. First name is Lee, L-E-E. Last name is Schmidt, S-C-H-M-I-D-T.
And title?
Acting Public Safety Director.
City Parks will be putting out on their social media pages sort of a little map with that 100-yard perimeter around it. It's just basically almost like an oval around the bridge area. So.
And this is not for, like, is there a limit to how many people can be down here to view? I mean, I don't know if we're going to get hundreds and
We'll see
hundreds,
how that goes. We'll have officers here, and they'll let us know if it becomes an issue. And then maybe we'll have to.
We'll have the ticket takers
Yeah.
at the.
Okay.
It's like open streets.
Right, it is.
All right, thanks
All right,
everyone.
thank you.
If you need any other information, let me know.
Take care.